is that BC and Ontario and maybe even Quebec hasn't signed off yet.
The eagerly anticipated All-Canadian division still facing massive roadblocks and awaiting provincial clearance. Ontario just announced it's going into full lockdown just before the proposed puck drop.
It appears that professional hockey is getting an exemption here.
That's in front of the health table right now. No decision has been made on that yet.
Quebec has a lockout looming of its own, and BC and Manitoba have yet to give the green light to pro hockey's return.
Work is ongoing in relation to whether or not there is public health risk to the NHL coming back.
So yes, hockey is finally ready to return. But where exactly will they be allowed to play in Canada? That is still up in the air.
I got a tentative schedule today that's, it's an all-Canadian schedule. Whether we're all in our own markets or where they end up, I don't know.
So how do you bring back hockey without jeopardizing the safety and health of the general public? That is a huge question. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 7-Eleven That's Hockey. I'm Gino Retta. It is great to have you with us today. All right, for their take on the situation, let's bring in our senior hockey writer, Frank Saravalli, and analyst Dave Poulin. Frank, you've been communicating with the league and the Players Association as they try to negotiate with the Canadian medical authorities. What are you hearing? Are Canadian teams going to be allowed to play in their home cities when the puck drops in just over 3 weeks' time?
Well, Gino, it's touch and go right now. I think these teams are confident that they'll be able to open training camp in their own markets. But after that, who knows? They've been in constant communication with the provincial health authorities and the NHL. And I think what's happened here over the last number of days is there's been a little bit of groupthink going on. The provinces that were once talking to teams individually have now banded together. I think no one wants to be the lenient one in this circumstance. But when you look at the NHL's protocol, it's pretty stringent. These players are not going to have very much flexibility or freedom on the road. They're only allowed to go to the game rink, practice rink, or their team hotel where they'll be sequestered and expected to have all of their team meals. We'll see where this goes from here. I think the NHL could stick handle potentially around one province saying, look, we can't allow games here, but if it's any more than that, the NHL is going to have to get pretty creative, whether that's putting teams in a hub or whether that's moving all 7 teams to the U.S. for the season.
And Frank, anytime I think you mention hub or bubble to the players, they get a little shy about that because they have a memory of being in a very strict environment for a long time. And that's what that's not what they're talking about here. They're talking about getting back into a situation where it gets them rolling and playing again by the 13th. So maybe it's 3 teams in a city and some sort of modified arrangement. And for the teams right now in the NHL, it's a hard sell to the government. You're dealing with different layers of government. Darren Drager and I were talking this morning. We both live in Toronto. Well, I live in Toronto proper. I couldn't play hockey, but he can play because he's just on the outskirts right now. So I think it's navigating around those rules if you're a player. And you don't want to go into a strict bubble, but that's not what they're talking about right now.